Folks, I know sometimes we get so depressed that we can't appreciate virtually anything, but that's the time to get out of the house and, you know, go down to your local park. Do something that can distract you, something that you can sort of look forward to. And basically, no matter how much money you've no got or have got, nature's a wonderful thing. Even this spider's web here. I mean, I came on this wee holiday and I wasn't really wanting to go, and I've had a lot of sort of maybe wee niggles throughout the holiday, because, as I say, depression kind of follows you. It doesn't just go away because you're on holiday, folks. But looking round me and what I can see, it's kind of cheered me up a wee bit. It's made me sort of see different things I wouldn't have seen if I hadn't bothered coming. And I think that's what it's all about, folks. You've got to get up and do it, even if you're maybe not feeling up to it. Because if you just give in, things are just going to get worse and worse, folks. And it's true. Folks, it's great to see bamboos and some very unusual palm trees. I know that one's beginning to wilt a little bit, but we're all wilting, you know, bit by bit. We come from nature, folks, and unfortunately we go back to nature in the end. So we're all at one with nature, and it's important to realise that, you know. Don't isolate yourself from it, be part of it. And you'll feel a lot better, you know. It'll cheer you up. Sometimes, folks, it takes us years to sort of realise that we're surrounded by nature and that we're part of it. I've talked about this before. I've mentioned that we go through life drinking and smoking and gambling and doing all the things that we've done when we're sort of in our earlier parts of our lives. But when we get older, your body's resisting all these things, and it becomes confusing. You know, it really does, folks. And you start getting irritable because we're not able to do some of the things that we're done in the past. And I think that's what's happened to me. So I've become a bit depressed, and you know, it's like you didn't want to go on. Nothing cheers you up. I don't suppose even a lottery win would cheer me up, but nature does. We read about things all the time, and the other day I was reading about a woman who was one of a very wealthy family, and she had a fantastic car. She had anything money could buy. She could go on to private jets and all sorts of stuff, and she could buy just about anything she wanted. And she said, and now I've got cancer, you know, terrible, terrible disease. And she swapped her beautiful car for a wheelchair, you know. She swapped all her gold, jewellery and everything that meant a lot to her at one point for a hospital bed. It took 2 nurses to sort of get her out of her bed in the morning. And she says, whatever I've got left financially, I would give it away tomorrow just to have my health back, you know. And that's what we've got to realise, folks, because we're very fragile, and if you've got a lot of money, it's not really that important, folks, it isn't. I mean, we've all thought it was, but I'll tell you in the end it isn't. And when you get older you realise that. There's always things, folk, to calm you down, to change your ways, to bring you out of yourself. And every day is a new challenge because you never know what's going to happen. Nobody knows what's going to happen the next again day. And, you know, these things can all change your life for the better. And you can go home maybe singing one night because you're so happy to have been out there and appreciate the fact that you're still here. A lot of people mention that in the comments, you know, it's important that we're still here. And if you are, then, you know, that's what it's all about. You're alive. There's an awful lot of folk worse off than what we are, you know. There's always somebody worse off, you know, but we always think that we've got the worst deal. But in reality, folks, we haven't got the worst deal. I mean, there's so much happening in the world now regarding war. If you're not in part of that war, then my goodness, you're laughing, you know, you're away from it. You can breathe without thinking this could be my last in case a bomb comes down and hits you, folks. So, I mean, there's a lot to appreciate every day. And I know that it sometimes doesn't bring you out of depression, but there is days that it does. You're not going to be depressed all the time, or anxious, or whatever. We've all got problems, so we've just got to deal with it. Folks, we've all got to deal with things in different ways, and we all find ways. You know, even though you might not think you can find a way to make yourself feel better, you've got moments when you're definitely going to feel better, trust me. An awful lot of folk on this channel, you know, they're looking for answers, because basically we're in a limbo period. We've lost our youth and we're approaching between middle to old age, and it's a big challenge, I can assure you, but it's no surmountable. You've got to find inner peace, and the best way to do that is probably through nature, through going for walks in your park, getting out of your house, and maybe going on your bike or whatever. But that's important, folks, you know. It's definitely important. You've just got to keep going. And don't give up, because I know if you do that, even if you do give up, that's it. But if you don't, then there's always, as I say, there's always hope. There's always ways to sort of feel better and find happiness. And that's what life's about, folks, finding that happiness, that peace, that inner peace, and just don't look back. There's things to look forward to, provided you've still got your health. That's the most important thing. Remember that. I personally think what's causing a lot of your problems, folks, is in the United Kingdom we've lived life, especially when we're younger, in the sort of fast lane, and as we get older we can't cope with life in the fast lane anymore. We're slowing down, and that's exactly probably what's happening to me, and I'm finding it hard to transition that, to find a way to deal with it, because it's always been on the go, and I can't sit about and just, you know, meditate like my wife sometimes tells me to do, and I've got to be always on the move, and I think that's where problems start to arise, folks, and maybe you all can relate to that, I don't know, because there she's sitting across there just reading her book, and I've got to be, you know, on the move, and I think it's just due to work and all the things that we've done in our lives, and we just can't slow down. And but there's the times that we've got to slow down, folks, that it's going to kill us, you know, and that's a fact. we've got to slow down, we've got to deal with slowing down, and I think you can relate to that. You can tell me in the comments what you think of that. We've got to find our peace, and I know it's very hard to find it when you've been rushing about all your life. It's a fact, we're rushing about too much, and we just can't slow down. And I think that's what's wrong with me in a lot of ways. I've been used to a sort of faster pace, and I'm not dealing with the fact that I've retired, more or less. I'm not dealing with these things, and I think a lot of us are not dealing with them, unfortunately. Just walking about here, folks, and as I say, although I find peace here, I'm still, I've got the urge to move about, I can't just sit down with the wife, and I think a lot of you can relate to that, folks, and we wish we could change it, but unfortunately, your body chemistry is, for day one, been programmed to sort of be on the move, and when you get the chance to relax, it's hard, and I think that's what's wrong in my situation, and probably your situation too. It's changing from always being busy to suddenly slowing down, and we can't sort of escape the fact that we're having to slow down, but we didn't want to because our brain's still in top gear, if you know what I mean. Folks, water is one of the most important things in life. Without it we wouldn't be able to survive, and I see all sorts of nature here. Wee frogs and all sorts of things buzzing about. You might not be able to see them on the camera, but it's just fantastic to see. I hope you've enjoyed this video, folks. As I say, I hope it's helped you in some sort of way, and if that's the case, can you maybe like and subscribe to my channel? I'm trying to do as much nature as I can. Spot our bees there. Without the bees we probably wouldn't survive either, folks. There's all sorts of things contribute to our lives, and we, without realising it, we take it for granted. So folks, you take care, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye for now. You can listen, folks, to the frogs croaking on the pool. Resting there in the sunshine. It's just nice to be one with nature. There's another one just basking there. It's great to see what a noise they make as well when they start croaking. And the water's so still, folks, and that's how we should be. We should be still and be at one with nature.